I was supposed to breastfeed. You know goose pimples?
Yeah.
I had the worst goose pimples. I had goose boils. It's not goose pimples. As soon as I tried to put her, I told my mom, I said, take her away. I don't want to. I could not understand. I was like, I don't want to. Ah, the baby, I said, don't let her know. It irritated me. The fact that when she just put her mouth there,
Yeah. Seriously.
I didn't want to.
Hey mamas, welcome to Mums Next Door, where tales of tantrums, neat triumphs, and tender moments. Again, on today's episode, I will always be your host, Maria Chike. And guys, on today's episode, we have an interesting special guest. She's someone I admire a lot. She's an actress, she's a TV host, she's a brand influencer, and she's extremely beautiful, guys. I know I say this all the time, but particularly this lady is very beautiful. And she's a mum of one. Guys, please help me welcome Bisola Aiyeola.
Woo! Hey! Hi, Maria.
Hi, darling. Thank you so much for honoring
Thank
your
you
presence.
for having me. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. So for the 1% out there that might not know you, please could you introduce yourself?
There's nothing more than what Maria has already said. My name is Bisola Aiyeola. I'm a singer, actor, TV
I
show.
forgot that bit. Sorry, a singer. We didn't know that.
Well, I put that on hold for a bit.
Wow.
So I'm a singer, actor, TV show host, brand influencer, as you said, mother of one, a foodie. I love to eat.
Ooh.
I love to cook, but that's one side of me that I don't think I really put out to people out there. I'm also very quiet. I like my quiet.
You don't see that.
People
You're
don't
very
believe
bubbly.
that. People don't believe that. But sometimes I'm socially awkward. You would rarely, if it's not a work event or events that just have close-knit friends, you'd rarely see me there. I really like my own space, my bedroom, my home. I don't usually entertain visitors.
Wow, I can relate a lot to your personality.
So much. I don't entertain visitors so much. Yeah, pretty much. That's just me in a nutshell.
Thank you. Well, you are an
Thank
awesome
you.
person. And again, thanks for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me.
But now that you've said a lot about yourself, I mean, what you obviously show online is so different to who you are.
Yes.
And I so can relate to who you are. I'm such a loner. Like, I love my own space. But when I'm out there, I'm out there.
Yeah,
like,
I'm out
very
there,
bubbly.
yes.
And so, yeah, we have a lot in common. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm just going to run you through to what we're going to do.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with fire questions. So feel free to reject any questions.
Okay.
But we have a little card here for you.
Oh, that's
So that's a
cute.
little cute
Thank
face.
you. Can I
So
take
that's
it
a
with
yes.
me when I leave?
Of course you
Awesome.
can. So that's a yes, and that's a no.
And that's a no,
So whatever
okay.
questions I ask you, just
Okay.
answer it.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate.
Okay.
Have you ever been judged by your parenting skills?
Yes, I have. Okay, so my daughter turns 15 this year, and she still doesn't. The wow came off. I was like, wow.
Because you're trying so hard.
So yes, my daughter turns 15, and she doesn't have a phone.
Oh, bless.
Yes, I've been pretty strict with that part of her life, and she kind of sometimes begs, but I've had other people tell me, what about emergencies? That she's too old, and I told her she's not going to get a phone until she's 16.
Wow.
So she still has one more year to go. But people are like, what if there's an emergency? Won't she be, behind her peers? I'm like,
Yeah.
she has a laptop for schoolwork, so that should suffice. If her friends really need to talk to her, they will call her on Zoom.
Of course, 100%,
if it's really important. But yes, sometimes people feel like I'm overdoing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to form overprotective, and I'm like, well, that's your business,
Yeah,
beeswax, that's your
100%.
whatever. But they've judged
No,
me on
I
that.
actually love that you don't let that. Every parent should have their own parenting
Yes.
skills and what they believe, because you're with your child day in, day
Yes.
out. You know who they are, you know how they function.
Exactly.
But yeah, that whole phone thing, I really pray I actually adopt your style, because I said about my little baby who's only 7 months old, well,
Yes.
going to 7 months, I did say, no TV when he was first born.
Yes,
Bruv,
but it's hard.
He's watching
I promise
TV
you.
every
It
single
is
day, and
so
he loves
hard.
it.
Especially because, juggling you know,
things.
it's a lot. It's a
So
lot.
I'm waiting for like maybe when he's 1, 2, I'll cut it all off completely.
I think that's going to be really tough at that point.
Really?
Yes, because at that age, you know what they call the terrible twos when they started walking.
Tantrums
Oh,
and
the
all,
tantrums
like,
and all of that. So that might be a bit difficult.
Oh God, we'll see.
So
but
we'll
yeah,
see.
I'm team no phones till at least a certain age.
So
So yeah,
it's-
15 is
exactly.
quite normal because, bro,
Exactly.
things that are happening on the internet.
Yo, oh my
I mean,
goodness.
she can still find it anywhere, school, whatever, but at least
Oh my,
limits
and then
that.
they're so smart because, you know,
Very
there was a
smart.
time I found out that she opened a Snapchat account.
Wow!
I was
On
like,
her laptop.
how?
Oh my God! I
How?
hope you didn't discipline her.
Oh, I did. So I extended her no phone usage by a year. So she was supposed to get it this year. Yeah, she was supposed to get it at 15.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, you want to discipline?
Yeah.
Okay, no scolding, no pushback.
How did she feel about that?
She begged. She was like, mommy, please. Then she tries to be an actress sometimes. There was one time
just
she
like
came
her
to, and she goes
mama.
like, mommy, there's something I really want to talk to you. I said, go on, talk to me. What's the matter? I always feel so left out. But if I give you backhand, you will clear out from this. Which drama are you giving me? There's no dramatic, so it's not going to work with me at all. There's nothing you can call. And then, you know, in that same breath, she looks at me like, somebody cannot even beg you.
I swear, this is my mother said.
the way she switched up, I'm like, child.
I just heard you call her name Layla. I love that
Yes,
name. I
yes,
really like
yes.
it.
That's her name, Layla.
Okay. Do you openly express your feelings to your child?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. I love
do.
that. You should.
And I've done that ever since she was little. I think my
Good.
daughter is very understanding. I guess it's also because of how I used to communicate with
Okay.
her. We used to live very far away in Songo Ota. And most of my work at the time, when I was still hustling in the street of Lagos,
Hey, we
looking
still
for
are.
acting work and things.
Now
you
she's
know,
a superstar, guys.
Stop it! I love it. So it required me leaving her with my mom, and she was very understanding. I'm talking
Oh, bless.
age 2.
Yeah.
You know, literally sit her down, have a conversation with her, and tell her, like, look, mommy has to go out to work. If I don't make money, I won't be able to buy you certain stuff. So I remember very vividly that she never used to cry when I would leave. She would just tell me, she would ask, do you have money? I said, no, not right now. But if I go out and I work and they pay me, I'll get money. I said, okay. When they give you money, will you buy me? Will you buy? There was a particular watch, Ben 10 watch. There was one Ben 10 watch she used to hound me for. Ben 10 watch. I said, yes, honey, I'll buy you a Ben 10 watch. When I didn't have enough money to buy the
They were
Ben,
plastic. I actually remember them. I remember
Ben 10
them.
watch, and then she used to like this drink, Bobo.
No, I don't know that.
My goodness. She said, would you buy me Bobo? I said, yes, honey, I'll buy you Bobo.
Aww.
But when I come back home and she doesn't see me with any of those things, she asks first, did they give you your money? I said, no, honey. No. And she wouldn't cry, no tantrum. So she would always, she just asks me if I have any money. Okay, you have money. Okay, when are they going to pay you? Like, we've had conversations about how much I earn.
Oh,
sometimes,
wow.
yes, we do have those conversations. And, you know, she goes like, oh, okay, so... And we talk, you know, we bargain. Okay, honey, is this what you want?
I like
you have to pick. Priority first.
Yeah.
This is how much I'm earning. This is how much I can give to you. So you gotta make a choice.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty open and I express myself to her. If she does anything that upsets me, I tell her why I'm upset. If she does something that she doesn't understand why I'm upset about, I explain to her what she has done that makes me upset and how she should do better. She's very understanding. If there's one thing I've been blessed with, a very understanding child. She's still stubborn too, but you know, she's very understanding, and I always communicate.
And that's a great relationship that you
Yes, we do have a fantastic relationship.
Awesome.
I think.
You're definitely blessed. No, you
know.
don't think. It is. You do. From what you're saying, you do.
Yes.
Have you always enjoyed motherhood? Do you still enjoy motherhood?
Oh my goodness. Have I always enjoyed motherhood? No.
Oh, bless.
No, I have not yet.
Yeah,
I have not always enjoyed motherhood because do I enjoy it now? Yes, actually I have moments. There are moments. Yes, it's a yes and no answer, because there are moments where I look at my daughter and I'm so proud. You know, when she comes back home with her results, it's like, she beats herself up a lot too when it comes to her academics. And if she doesn't surpass, you know, her previous results, I'm like,
she's trying to impress mama.
Oh my gosh. I don't really think it's about me.
It's about her.
It's about her. She's so competitive. She is
you
so
like that?
Sorry. I love that.
I love that.
think so.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think so. I
Yeah.
think I am. Very recently, okay, there was this competition. They call it Conrad competition.
Okay.
Where you have to come up with an idea. You pitch it to the Conrad team, and she decided to come up with an AI.
Wow.
AI mental health, AI for teens,
Oh,
basically.
wow, at 15.
So she had her team, her group. She was team lead. They developed the website. You know,
Wow.
she told me, "Mommy, do surveys and it," but her team didn't get picked for Conrad. So she was really, really upset about that. No, but then they had this business enterprise thing in her school, and then she asks me, she's like, that she doesn't even know if she should come up with another idea or for this her whole business day thing, that there's supposed to be some there's going to be 400,000 naira
Worth
grants
of-
that they would
yeah.
win
Oh,
and all
wow.
of that. But anyway, they've put them in groups. She's gonna pitch it to her teammates
yeah.
if they can work with Ment AI, and they did.
And they won.
And they won. I'm telling you, Layla is
Awesome.
on Zoom calls with her classmates till
Organizing.
midnight.
Oh,
Midnight.
oh my
And
God,
then,
you've
you
got...
guys, your presentation. And I'm looking and say, honey, you have to go
No,
to bed.
stay awake.
Please.
We must win
She's
that
calling
money.
her friends, and they won. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I
God, you
was
haven't-
so proud. I was so proud of
definitely.
her teammates. You know, yeah, not everybody's going to be on the same
No,
page with her.
100%,
And
yeah.
there were times where she had complained. She's so passionate about schoolwork that if any of her teammates are not, or classmates are not on the same page with her, she starts crying.
Oh, bless.
And sometimes people are like, Leila, I don't want to work. Leila's own is too much. Her own is too much. I'm like, honey, look, you need to be able to strike a balance. You should understand that not everybody is like you. You're
Yeah.
an only child. You have so many things to yourself. These other people, they have siblings. They
it's
might have other
true. Yeah,
responsibilities.
true.
They may want, that relaxation time. As soon as she gets home, she's picking up her laptop. Homework.
Wow. You have
calm
an
down.
industrious girl.
She,
I love
well,
that.
so for academics, yes. For
oh,
house
not in
chores,
the house.
she can do the work, but it's always like you can tell her like 3-4 times.
The teenagers are like that, though.
Oh,
She's going
my
to grow out of it.
goodness.
I
Oh,
remember
my-
my little sister. Teenagers are like that.
Me, I was not like that. So me, I was the Jackie
Really?
of the house. What? Oh my God. Well,
even
maybe I
remember.
was, and maybe the situation I was in at the time didn't permit me to be relaxed enough to say no or to not do
Oh,
any
yes,
house
the-
chores. Yo.
Yeah, 100%. My
But
dad- yeah.
with her academics, yes,
Good.
she's good. She also likes to watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
But thankfully, she somehow
Balances it.
tries to balance it out.
Good.
So yes, sometimes in instances like that where she does so good at school and then she wins projects and stuff like that, I'm really proud. But there are moments when I'm just like, it's overwhelming. It's like, oh Lord.
Bless.
How work, managing her own emotions,
Yeah.
and there's
And
so
now she's at that teenage level
yes,
as well.
yes. There's
Teenagers
certain
are not-
conversations that we have where I look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, honey, why do you want to please everybody? You can't. Life is
yeah.
not like that. You should stand your ground. Say no.
Yeah.
It's okay
But
to
she'll
say
grow up
no.
to learn that, though. It takes. I think it must have took all of us a certain age.
Yes, it took me a while. I think
It's
for me, I think I
stopped
started.
people pleasing at 20 odd, maybe
I
22,
was 20. I was
23.
29, 28,
Yeah, I
29
think-
when I started realizing, like, look, girl.
Yeah, no, not
That's
everyone's
when I
gonna
started
like
finding
you.
myself.
Yeah.
I don't want her to wait that long.
It's a character build up. She will. They're
So-
still young. They barely even know who they are.
Very true.
I still don't
very
even know
true.
who I am.
Well,
so,
exactly. We're still figuring this
Yeah.
out. But that moment when you
of course.
can guide. And there's this thing I always tell her. I say, look, a wise man once said, you learn from people's mistakes.
Mistakes.
You learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
And even wiser man said,
Your
you will
own
learn from
mistake.
other people's mistake. Don't wait to make the mistake
them.
yourself before you learn from it. If you've seen that this person has made...
But this quote, I do know this quote, but do you know what I believe in?
What?
I learned from my own mistakes because tested and tried. So I've tested it, I've failed. Now I know never to do that again.
It's like
But
saying...
there's nothing wrong with failure.
There's nothing.
There's
yes,
absolutely nothing
Yes,
wrong
but
with failure.
I think it's almost like saying, whoever invented. So it's almost like, what can I use as an example? Say, for instance, okay, we have the grinding stone, and then you have a blender that can even make your life easier. And you have the blender, and it's like, use the blender. It's a lot
Rather than
easier. And
Traditional.
I will use the sweat if my sweat never. You know, so it's almost That's why I feel like if people are experienced and have told you certain things, not in me like in business now I've made huge mistakes.
Okay.
And experts in business had advised me otherwise, but I said no, this is what I want to do.
You rather.
And I've learned from it. But with certain things like begging for friendship.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, there's some. Do you understand?
Never.
There's some things
I don't
like.
even like friends. I'm a weirdo.
But you get what I mean.
Yeah,
like there's some things that I wouldn't want you. You don't need to go through the heartbreak of that.
Oh yeah.
Before
true.
you learn. Before you
Definitely.
learn. So. Yes.
Just like I didn't listen to anyone before I gave birth. They were like, don't buy much, don't buy anything. Yeah, I bought the whole world.
Oh my God.
He has not even worn 2%.
Look at that.
Regret.
No, but with that happens to a lot of first-time moms.
Because we get
You're so excited
Yeah.
and you're just like, whatever, this is going to look good on my baby. So that happens a lot.
Have you ever caught yourself consciously or subconsciously judging other moms? That's very funny, yeah. I actually have as well. And it's so bad because I would hate for people to judge me. Yeah.
Well.
But when I see people and you're doing some sort, I'm like,
yes, there's some.
doing?
It's almost like I've seen some young mothers. I didn't know it all, but there's some things I personally feel it's just common sense.
Yeah.
The weather is cold.
Oh yeah.
My baby is sweating.
Yeah.
That sweat is fake.
100%.
It's fake sweat. Babies should be warm. They were incubated for 9 months. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen to them. But they're like, no more. He's sweating. And I'm looking at you like, people are telling you to wrap that baby up, and you're still saying no.
100%.
So there are a few things like that. I judge moms who can visibly see their children touching other people's stuff. Like, you're in a gathering with a little child. You know that not everyone has the same temperament as you do. And you're watching your child go and pick people's food, pick phone, tapping and then watching, and you're looking at them.
I keep saying my child would never, and people keep saying, just wait now, wait. You cannot control. I will beat you.
I promise you.
In public.
My child, Layla.
Will never.
She never did.
Good.
Just that eye. Oh. You see that? I think maybe I probably might have disciplined her a bit too much. I was young.
Yeah.
I was
and you
frustrated.
Wanted the best.
I think I had a bit of what's that thing they call it? Is it a postpartum depression?
Oh,
I think I had a bit of that, but I really
enough.
Didn't understand
you were in
it.
denial.
I was in denial.
Yeah.
It was much later. I said, okay, this is probably what was going on.
And a lot of mothers don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
My life was pretty much in shambles when I had her. So,
but look at you and her now.
yes,
Perfect couple.
there was one time. Sorry, I'm deviating from the question,
fine.
but there was this one time. Like I said, we're staying in Songwater, and it was a very small apartment, so like a room and a parlor that we're living in. So her potty was in the room, and she had just started learning how to
Potty
talk.
training, yeah.
Yes, and I was potty training her.
Yeah.
And so she strolls into the room. And this is me, I'm lying down. She didn't know I was awake, and she just thought I was asleep, so I was watching her. And then she looks at me, looks at her potty, looks at me, looks at her potty again, and decides to pee on herself.
So that was on purpose. Let me just test this woman. Let me just test her.
Please don't spank your kids, we're new age, these times. But I'm still a firm believer of spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah.
It's how I was raised. This, my sweet princess, one hand that I raised, I said, today, you're going to learn how to say potty. When you want to wee wee, you say what? Potty. I say what? Potty. You wee wee, woo, potty.
Oh,
Bless. Since that day, she never soiled herself.
Wow. I hope I become not a soft parent. Because
there are modern ways,
I have some tendencies that before having a child, I was like, I'll beat down my child. But now, he's still very young, though.
Still very young.
So many things that he even does now, like he's fond of like putting stuff in his mouth now. So I'm like, no, Papa, he starts to cry when you take, and then I just give it back. That's soft parenting.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, so I don't know how far
I don't
we're
know how
gonna get with
yeah,
this.
because one thing they taught me was like, look, crying never killed a child.
Oh, I just hate to see him
Crying
cry.
never kills a child. And you know, they're too smart. These children are too smart. They're studying you. You know, you think, oh, it's just
How
a baby.
far
No,
can
no,
I
no, no,
push
no.
her?
How far can I push her? Oh, if I do this, oh, she's gonna. But
Oh, I have
that's
to learn.
they are
Okay.
manipulative. I promise you. Like even with Layla, even now,
It's
but
worse.
she sometimes looks at me and she's like, "Mommy, I think you're a witch." I'm like, "Why do you think I'm a witch? Why?" She says, "Because there are sometimes like, how do you know what I'm thinking?" I said, "Honey,
I'm your mother.
You're my
Hello?
child. I know when you're lying."
We shared. You were
Like,
inside of me for 9 months.
I know when you're lying. There was one day, I think she was doing something with my mom. And, you know, she came back and was complaining, her back was paining her so much. So, you know, my mom said that she shouldn't wash the dishes any longer because her back was hurting. And,
Drama
you know,
queen like her mama.
she was done. And I looked at her. I said, honey, why are you lying? I said, no. I said, no. I said, your back was not paining you. You tried it one time and you said that it worked. And that too, gullible, my granddaughter. That is my mom.
Yeah.
My granddaughter, my granddaughter. I said, you now tried it again. I said, if I were, she said, how did you know? She started laughing. I said, is it me you want to trick?
Yeah.
You can't. Honey, I was your age once, and I know all these things that you're trying to do.
Now you are her age, Raz. We'll see how perfect you turned out.
I'm not perfect, though. I'm not perfect
You
at
are.
all.
Almost
But
perfect.
you know, yes, there's that. So I judge some mothers. You know, like when you are
I
seeing
do
your
as
child
well.
indulge and do certain, and you are letting.
Yeah.
No, you know, you should be
Yeah,
able to
I
caution
do.
them and let them.
I remember when we started injections, like the vaccinations in the
Yes.
UK with my little boy, and we went to the hospital to give, and it was literally snowing that day. This was sometime in November, I think so. It was literally end of November. It was super snowy, and I wrapped him up like layers and layers of clothes, like wrapped him with the blanket as well. We got to the hospital. I saw a lady, literally. The little boy had a onesie, but it was a cut-out onesie. Oh, God. No shoes, no nothing, and she just carried it. And I was just like, oh, wow. It was literally so cold, and that was me judging.
Oh, God.
But I had every right to.
Yes, you
because
had every
it's
right to.
like, why?
Like,
Because it's so funny
on.
you were talking about temperature.
Yes,
It just reminded me. And it was
like, I would judge it. I judge.
No.
I judge.
Because anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, they're very tender, like,
Gosh.
with having to deal with illnesses or, yeah.
I'm sorry if I judged you, but again, you probably deserved to be judged.
The real Bisola is coming out. Okay, moving on.
Yes.
Do you want more kids?
Nope.
That was very straight.
Very
Why?
I had given myself a time frame.
Bisola, have you seen how young you look?
It's not by that.
Energy.
Dollar is not young. Economy is not young.
Hey, but it's not about money. It's about, it's not. You people can drink Gary together. The love is...
No.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually... No, I take it back. Because you want the best for them at the end of the day, yeah.
I had told myself that, and I don't want. I've been a single parent, you know, since I had. Yeah, I've been doing it alone ever since I had Layla.
I think not just me, speaking for quite. People are proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Stop
you
it. You're making me to be
do so
blushing.
well.
Stop. I've been a single parent for too long. Like I said, my daughter's turning 15 this year, and I told myself, if I must have another child, Lord. I would like to have that child by the time I'm 38.
Okay.
And 38 have come and gone. And I said to God, Lord, I don't want to do it alone.
Of course.
I have to be married, you know. I'm not doing this journey again just because I want to have another child. You've blessed me. You know, there are millions of women in the world that don't even have this type of blessing that can't call
100%.
themselves mothers. 100%. You know, they're struggling to have one child, and I've been blessed with this. And you've given me a wonderful daughter. If I must do this again, I don't want to do it alone.
Yeah,
I was a lot younger when I had Layla.
Yeah.
I'm much older now. Life has changed. My body is not the same. I have issues with my back. And those issues started after I had Layla. Okay. It was from my pregnancy and childbirth that I started having those issues. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to get pregnant and do it all over again. And people have told me, oh, you can do surrogacy. I say, yes, those are options. But you do know that getting pregnant and having the child is the easiest part.
Yeah.
That's like the easiest part of,
It's
having
the actual
the actual thing is
Parenting.
raising that child, And like I said, I'm not ready to do it alone.
100%. I agree with you.
I said no.
Yeah.
38 has come and gone.
Oh,
But
no.
I don't know. This is me. Man
Anything can
proposes. Yes,
happen.
man proposes, God disposes.
Yeah.
But still, even though upon that.
So if a great man comes into your life, like a great man, I don't mean
great
like a
man.
wash man.
Well,
a great man.
Well, like I said, I'm 38 now. If a great man is going to come to my life, I'm thinking.
But 40 is the new young.
Yeah, 40
and
is
you're
the,
not even 40 yet.
Yes, 40 is the new young. I'm not 40 yet. But I'm thinking if any man is going to come into my life now, he probably might have children of his own. I don't know if there's any younger person I'm going to do.
Oh, God.
Like, dude,
I
don't think. Not for me. I don't think I can give you.
I've never functioned with young people.
I don't think I can give
Even
you
as
what
friends,
you truly
girlfriends.
deserve. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Not for me.
But hey, you never know tomorrow. So
We never know. We
be
never
positive.
know. Positive, yes.
We're praying hard for you. Okay. Have you put your desires on hold ever because of motherhood?
Yes.
Fair
Several desires.
I bet.
Some I would
'cause you were quite
not
young.
go into. But I'd say mostly sometimes work. There's certain roles that have come my way that I'm like, if I do this, my daughter's friends follow me.
Wow. Fair enough.
She literally sends me emails that her friends have sent to her, screenshots of some things that I've posted on social media. I'm like, why are your friends following me?
Wow, so they even get to your daughter.
So
wow.
she's pretty tough.
Good.
But I still don't want to put her in any situation that would make her feel like, oh, why did my mom do this? So I have to consider her emotions.
100%,
And I've asked her, sometimes I ask her questions, I say, honey, I hope you don't mind if you see me in a movie and I'm kissing. No. This is all, just that. She can tell me, I don't go nude, don't go. I think maybe like 3-4 weeks ago, we literally had a conversation about body doubles. I'm like, oh, honey, many of these people that you see that go.
And she was like, no, I don't care, don't do that.
No. And we were watching someone. She said, Mommy, do you think this person is a body double? I said, Leila, I was not in the film. I don't know.
About that body double, not to deviate from the whole topic, the people watching it don't know.
They don't know.
They've decided this is Bisola.
Exactly. So we had that conversation, and every movie that we've happened to watch together since then, she asks me, is this person a body double? Is this one a body double? I'm like, Leila, please don't kill me.
I'm not the producer.
I'm not there. I wasn't. That's not my film, you know. But work-wise, there's certain roles I have turned down. Certain roles I've turned down because I just didn't want to put my daughter in any funny situation where her classmates would. But she's almost done with secondary school, so I guess maybe afterwards I'll now be at liberty to do whatever. Fingers crossed. I don't know yet. Yes.
Awesome.
So awesome. Yes.
So we have actually come to the end of the fire questions. Now we're moving on to the main questions while we're here. As we all know, Mums Next Door is a place where we share our experiences about motherhood, challenges of motherhood, pregnancy, everything. So yeah, let's dive into the main question. Let's see what it's going to have to say to us. You have a teenage daughter.
Yes.
How does that make you feel? Seeing that you're young and you have a teenage daughter.
It's like, what? My little girl that her hand couldn't reach the top of the table now. She's almost my height. She's almost my height. I'm probably... No, she's still the short.
I'm joking.
I think I'm probably like maybe 4 or 5 inches taller. I think. But it's like, guy, how? And then the conversations that we have, it's just, it's
awesome.
mind-blowing. Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that you just said that.
Yes, But I still try to instill that mommy.
Mother.
Like, I'm still your mom. Don't feel because we're close and we're cool.
And sorry to cut you off. It's so funny. Years ago, you know how they tabooed young moms, like, you're a young mom, X, Y, Z. I feel like young moms have 85% or 90, I don't know what the survey is, but they have a better relationship with their children, be
Right.
it daughters, be it sons, whatever it is.
I think so too. I
Yeah.
think so too.
Because I think it's that struggle. It's you
Yes,
and me now.
we're growing together.
We have
So,
nobody. I'm
yeah,
young, you're
it's
young.
us,
We're
it's
doing
us.
this. So,
Exactly,
yeah, it's more
exactly.
intimate, it's sweeter.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. I
But I
agree
think
with you
you've
on
done a
that.
great job as well.
Thank you so much. You're making me blush too much.
Thank you. What is the one thing that you wish you knew before you became a mum?
Ooh.
I mean, I know probably yours was unexpected or it just happened, but
I think one thing I wish I knew was that I wish I knew that it was not going to be an easy journey doing it alone.
yeah.
I think I almost felt like, oh yeah, because my mom was a single parent, so I kind of
Wow,
felt like
okay.
if my mom can do it, I can do it too. And yes, that has been my reality. I've been able to do it, but it shouldn't be so. It's raising children shouldn't be solely for one person, and I don't think people should just have children out of selfish reasons just because I want to have a child. For the stability of that child, I think it's very important that they have both parents in the picture. So for me, I wish I knew back then that it was very important before starting a family that the family had to be complete. I know life happens with certain people.
Not always, you know. Not always, in my opinion, but it would be great.
It would be great
Yes,
because
it would be great.
okay, let me give you one instance. And I wouldn't say that I felt like I was, I didn't feel like a failure, but I just felt like this is something I would never be able to give to my child. A family friend of mine invited me to another family friend of theirs' daughter's 10th birthday. This was some years ago.
Okay.
And I obviously go there with my daughter. Their children were playing. I was walking my daughter to the car. It was almost time for us to leave, but they were a few meters ahead of us. Husband and wife. That's my family friend I'm talking about. Husband and wife, they were a few meters ahead of us. So I'm talking to Leila, I'm holding her. I'm like, oh, okay. Did you enjoy the party? Did you this? Did you that? And she just lets go of my hand, runs to the couple right ahead. And then she goes, because they were holding hands, husband and wife were holding hands. And then she goes in between them and she holds their hands. She was right there in the middle. And at that moment, my heart felt so heavy. At the time, her father had passed. Wow. Even though we were not together even before he passed. But, but I looked at her there and this is an innocent child just being a child, and she just lets go, runs, and then she stays in between them, and they indulged her, they played with her a little bit, but I felt very heavy. My heart was heavy because I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this or give this to my child. This is something she obviously would have always wanted to do. Moments like that make me feel like I wish I knew beforehand that it's important for the child, for a certain level of stability. Because sometimes she hears her friends talk about their dads. Yeah. And she has absolutely nothing to say. She asks, She knows. She knows. She's a smart kid. Good. She knows, and we had those conversations, and she's okay with it now because she's much older.
I mean,
and I'm always ringing it. I'm a typical African mom when it goes, don't follow boys, don't get pregnant,
like my father.
You are not this. And she looks at me, and she's like, Mom, cringe, chill. Like she's like, relax. Relax. It's not gonna happen. Like, no, I say you have to get married. You have to have stability. It's very important. Stability, not just for you, but for the children. Stability. She's just looking at me like, this woman who wants to get married now? Can you relax? So yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. In my opinion, obviously you have been at the top of your game. You've achieved a lot. I think others out there would agree with me as well. So please, Bisola, tell us, because I'm struggling. How do you stay at the top of your game and still slay motherhood
Oh
with your
my
career,
God.
with everything, and still represent. And obviously, by the talks of it, because I don't know if you share a lot of your daughter online. I don't see much.
I don't share so much.
I don't see much. So the little you're sharing about your relationship with her, her upbringing, the way, who she is, you've done greatly. So in my head, it's just like, how did you slay? How do you keep slaying motherhood, still being Bisola Big Brother, one of the best? Is you unable to go?
Watch that pressure.
No, but it's true when they talk about our colleagues.
Oh my gosh.
You two are the top.
Well, wow.
Am I lying?
I'm really flattered. I'm really flattered.
here we go.
I promise you, I don't have it figured out.
Okay.
I do not have it figured out. I can't say, oh, this is what I do. This is what I don't do. I think I just take it one day at a time. I pray to God that jobs do come in so that I can take care of my kid. I think one of the things that really helped me though, when I found out I was pregnant and, you know, I told my mom, she said to me, don't worry, I'm going to help you with raising your child. You know, she told me that. So I think that support, especially from home, you know, was one of the things that has helped me until date. You know, my mom lives with me.
Sorry to ask, your dad. Okay,
he was he wasn't in the picture.
Okay.
He left when I was 3. After that, the next time I saw him again was when I was 13. Wow. And next ahead of him was probably when I was about maybe 2021 that he had passed. Oh wow. So yeah, it's always been my mom's relative.
You have a great relationship with mom?
Maybe as an older woman.
Yeah.
Yes, as an older woman.
You know, it's always like that with women, with the ladies. Yeah.
As an older woman, my mom was tough.
Okay.
And there was a certain point in our lives where we weren't living with our mom. We were living with so many relatives as well. So we didn't really have that connection. Bond. Yes, up until much later.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. How do you approach difficult conversations with your daughter? Like really difficult conversations?
Difficult personal conversations.
Or topics maybe about herself, sexual things. Or...
Oh, okay. Difficult conversations like with sex education. I think I started talking to her about it from age 5. Wow. Okay. 5, 6. I think it was very important for me to let her know that.
It's very important at that very young age.
Your private part is private.
Yeah.
It's yours. And I remember maybe some years ago, maybe 2 years ago, she says when they were teaching her maybe something reproduction in biology. She goes like now the boys in her class were just going, and she's looking at them like, grow up. Like, you guys, like, can you just grow up? So I was very proud of myself. I was like, oh, honey.
Because I already know about it now.
Yeah, because
my mom already trained me.
In depth, you know, we've talked about it, you know, how it works, you know, how intercourse works, why she should not engage in that now. This is not the time for it. How, even if she thinks there's a boy that she likes, I promise you, once you get out of secondary school and you're in university, you see that baby, like, you know, things like that. She's very inquisitive. So,
I like that.
Yeah, she's very inquisitive. She wants to know everything and anything. Her eyes are always rolling. Kind of makes difficult conversations easy to have. Yeah, I don't think we've had any conversation that I was afraid to discuss with her. Like I said earlier on, when she was much younger, I had started discussing my finances with her from when she was like 2, 3 years old. Even when she didn't understand it. Yeah. So it's been kind of easy. I don't think I'm too afraid to discuss anything with her. Death, obviously she's lost a parent, and discussing that, I think maybe that was one of the most heartbreaking things. I think that was
How did she take it?
What happened at that period was we had a lot of other children in the house. Okay. Cousins and friends. There were like 5 other children in the house with her, so 6 kids. And when I got the news, I just had to keep it to myself, my mom, and my sister. 2 days later, after they had left, all the children had left, that was when I was able to break the news to her. Oh, it was the most heartbreaking thing ever, you know, seeing her break down, you know.
Had she ever met him?
Oh
Sorry.
yeah,
if I'm,
yeah.
like, pushing. Okay.
She just I just wasn't married to her dad.
Yeah.
She used to
They
see
had
him.
a good. Oh, great.
Did she? Yeah.
Okay,
They
that's
used to. He
awesome.
used to see
Yeah.
her once in a while when he could.
Okay.
Her birthdays, he would come
Good.
over. You know, when he had other siblings visiting the country,
Yeah.
he'd come pick her up so that she could see those
Oh,
siblings.
that's great.
So,
I like that.
so yes,
Good.
she did have a little
'Cause it's very
relationship
important. Yeah.
with him, but I wish it was
A family.
yeah, and I wish it was a
Yeah.
lot. They were a lot closer
Yeah.
than our reality.
Yeah.
So breaking that news of his death to her was very heartbreaking. But she was much younger, and you know how children are. They can easily. She's like, okay. And I said, that kind of made me think like everything that happens in life happens for a reason.
100%.
I think if she had a closer relationship with her dad, it may have broken her more.
Further.
So I'm just like, oh God, when
At
things
least it
happen,
was
we don't
like-
know. We don't
yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
this happened, and she was able to adjust after a while. Yeah.
Thank you.
How was pregnancy and childbirth?
Okay, so we spoke about this yesterday, but not in depth on me. I had the perfect pregnancy. I'm not even
Stop
gonna
it.
lie. Yes, I did. I had nothing wrong with me. No throwing up, no nothing. Funny enough, my little sister, we were pregnant at the same time, but she was way
Ahead.
I think she's 6. Yeah, they were 6. So she gave birth in April last year, 23. I gave birth in October 23.
Oh,
so
right.
we only shared it for like
3
my
months.
first
first
trimester.
trimester.
So she was giving me her experiences, and it was quite the opposite. So I was so lucky. Just 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to my due date, I started having back pain, like severe back pain. That was the only issue that I'd say I had during my pregnancy. Other than that, honestly, I actually enjoyed being pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even lying. I had the best pregnancy. I wasn't craving anything, had no cravings. Like, my little sister was eating the most. Every time I video call her, like, what are you doing? She's eating.
Oh my
I
gosh.
literally still had my pre-pregnancy. The way I ate was the same during
Same thing,
pregnancy.
nothing
Like,
changed.
nothing changed.
What about after?
So after was the worst. After childbirth, I could not eat whatsoever. We had to ask the doctor. Everyone was like really upset with me. You're not eating. You need to eat for the breast milk. But I did have breast milk anyway. The supply wasn't that much, but it was adequate enough for my little boy. So it was a thing for me because I lost so much weight, and I wasn't intentionally doing
And
it.
you're happy about you're happy?
No, I wasn't actually, because I
Really?
looked really sick, and then my mother-in-law thought I was doing that because she's a
she's
public figure.
public.
No, I started hating the way I was looking, because like my
Yeah.
skin was dropping. I lost so much weight, but now I'm back to like me, like Maria. So initially I liked it, but when I started looking sick, I was like, okay, you're looking sick now. What's wrong with you? I had to eat, but everything I ate was tasting so bad. I didn't want to eat. I wouldn't remember to eat. They'd force me to eat. I'd smell it
my
and like, I
gosh.
don't want to eat. But all I was thankful for that I had milk. I literally had milk to feed my son.
You are so blessed.
Yeah, I'd say. I'm thankful for that though. So I did have a good pregnancy.
My pregnancy was horrid.
Really?
It was the worst ever.
No.
I've not had another
You're like
one
the
for
second
me.
person that said
It was
this.
so horrid. Childbirth was
Wow.
terrible.
Really? What did
Terrible.
you?
I had
what did
it. Had a nasty, and I was younger.
Okay,
I got
fair
pregnant when I
enough.
was 22.
Yeah.
I had my daughter when I was 23. So you think that it should be a
Because you're
breeze because
young,
you're
you're
much
just-
younger.
yeah.
Lord, I threw up until maybe I was about 7.5 months pregnant.
Oh wow. Oh God.
So bad. Like I would throw up constantly until I started seeing blood before it stops every day.
Wow.
It was that bad.
babe.
Nothing could stay down. The skinniest I've ever been in my life was when I was pregnant.
Really?
That I've ever been in my life was when I was
Yeah.
pregnant. And
So
then
that's good then.
no, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was horrible.
Okay, because you weren't eating.
Yes,
and
I wasn't
oh,
eating.
Okay.
Nothing was staying.
Yeah.
Was staying down.
But you
And
still
then-
had a healthy pregnancy. Your daughter was. They said she was healthy.
Well,
in
they said I
there.
was a bit hypertensive.
Oh, okay.
What's that thing they call it? Is it preeclampsia? Is that what
Oh
they call
yes,
it? Yeah.
that's the word.
Then the labor. My
How did
God.
that go?
I was in labor for 3 days. The worst days of my life.
Bisola, 3 days.
3 days. It was hell.
72 hours.
It was hell. It
Oh no, I don't envy
it was
you.
the worst thing ever.
Why?
And they kept telling me,
Were they not inducing you whatsoever?
then they started inducing me.
Why did they wait
But
that late?
So when I started having my contractions, they were like, oh yeah, her contractions are pretty strong, let's admit her.
And what hour was this?
This
into
was
labor?
very early.
Oh,
This
wow.
was very early. So I started feeling like I went into labor at about 1 a.m.
Okay.
I didn't go to the hospital until about 6 a.m. And that's when they were like, oh, okay, let's keep her. Oh, primate, okay, yeah, let's keep her here. We wanted
Yeah.
You're having strong contractions. Oh, hopefully by the end of today, you should have
You
the
should
baby.
have a baby. But you were
Then they
started.
started checking me. I wasn't even dilated.
Oh wow.
I wasn't dilated. So the next day, and this is me, I'm still there.
Yeah.
They have limited food intake because they'll tell you, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. Second day, I'm there, and they're like, oh, she's still not dilated, and then they had to put some catheter and a ball-like thing that would help open up my cervix.
Right.
And when they they said when the ball drops, that means I'm about 4 centimeters dilated. I'm like, okay, cool.
I think that's the earliest.
Labor was, my period was already doing my head in. I couldn't sleep. Ball drops. It's like, oh, okay, she's progressing, but it's still freaking slow. And then the doctors come in, oh, let's induce her. So they put some things in the IV, and then they inject me. It was now.
Wow, the pain was.
The pain. And then because, I don't know, maybe it's because kind of hospital. It was a private hospital. It wasn't so bad.
Okay.
I'm guessing if I had more money, I would have gone to probably
back
like
then as well,
bigger,
15
better
years
one.
ago, yeah.
But for every time they wanted to check the baby's heartbeat, they would ask me to roll on my back. That was the most...
Like, all the way?
All the way.
Why? That's wrong.
All the frigging
That's the worst
way.
advice ever.
And that's what they were doing. And then they would check, okay, the baby's heart rate has
Because then she would have to... Oh, that's terrible.
It was...
I'm actually picturing it.
And then the next day, which was now Friday.
2 days, the second day.
This is now the third day.
Third day.
Which is now Friday, the day I had her, at 7 p.m. At about 7 p.m., a consultant comes in because there was another woman who was in the hospital who had was maybe like 43 weeks.
Yeah.
They were like, her baby's too comfortable. They had to induce her, probably do like a C-section and
Yeah.
to get the baby out.
Far
So
gone,
I said it's
43,
too far gone that the baby,
max 41. Yeah.
And then he comes into the ward and he goes like, looks at my file. Bisola, come on, you have hips, you can push the baby out. That's exactly what he says. So Bisola, you have hips, you can push the baby out. What have you given her? Oh, we gave her a 2.5 something, and we gave her a 5.5 something. So we said, okay, double it. That's what he told us. That's what he told us. Says double it. So they're like, okay, double it, sir. Are we giving her another
epidural? Did you go?
No, epidural, all natural.
Okay.
Give her another 2.5. No, he said no, not 2.5. That
10.
the entire full dose, as they had given me for full, not half full. So
Okay, so I guess that just pushed it.
This was now at about, 7:30 p.m. Ooh, Lord.
Oh,
They
Bisola,
did that.
I'm just picturing this.
The madness. Now, when I got into labor, my sister was with me, and we had kind of planned that, okay, we're not going to tell my mom. We're just going to call her and tell her that, I've put to bed.
Your mother has been calling
See,
for
that
2
Friday,
days.
they were just like, better call your mom. And I remember my mom came into the ward and she said, why is this place so messy? Why is there blood everywhere? I didn't even know that there was blood everywhere.
Blood from who?
Me, apparently.
You were bleeding.
I had no clue. I didn't know what was going on. I was
Oh,
dead.
that's terrible, from the hospital. Like,
Mom was like, what is going on here? Why is there blood everywhere? They should clean everything up.
yeah.
So they came, they cleaned, changed what I was. I had no clue. My sister was like, Bobby, if you know how much blood, like it was scary. It was like, all these horror movies. That my sister calls me Bobby, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because I smiled, I was like, oh, I like that. My cousin's called Bobby.
Yeah. So my sister calls me Bobby. And then when they had induced me, they come out. This is what my mom tells me afterwards. She goes like, by 9 p.m. your daughter should have the baby. And then they're like, she looks at the time, she says, nah, she's going to have the baby at 10 minutes past 9. lo and behold, at
Mothers,
10,
there was no.
10
There was
past
no.
9.
You had your
Late
baby.
10 past
Well,
9.
did she put that on his head to know where your daughter
I had,
was?
as in,
don't
I was like,
understand.
why didn't I tell this woman to come,
come
since?
since.
And then I had, you know that moment where you've pictured how everything's gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, mommy, as soon as you hear that I'm in labor or I'm in the hospital, when you
Bring my
call me pepper
food.
soup.
Ah.
My mouth was gone.
Yeah.
And then they told
And
me
with all the, yeah.
and I hadn't eaten anything for 2.5 days.
That hospital is terrible.
Nothing. They said everything I needed was in the IV. That was fine.
Okay, fair enough. Actually, yeah. Yeah.
They said
you're not supposed-
nothing. And then I was supposed to breastfeed.
Breast didn't come.
That was you know goose pimples.
Yeah.
I had the worst goose pimples. I had goose boils. It's not goose pimples. As soon as I tried to put her, so I told my mom, I said, take her away. I don't want to. I could not understand. I was like, I don't want to. The baby, I said, don't let her know. It irritated me. I just thinking
You were
about
probably
this.
very sore. Yeah.
It wasn't even sore. It just, the fact that when she just put her mouth there,
Yeah. Seriously.
I didn't want to. Like, the goosebumps were so. My mom looked at me and said, okay. Took the baby, took Layla from me. Then tells me.
Had you already named her afterwards?
We had named her.
Prior.
We had named myself and her dad.
Cute,
we had named. He was there. He was with me all through.
Oh, he's a good
he was
guy.
he was
I
in
like
there.
that.
Yeah, he was
I
in
like
there
that.
while I was in labor.
Good.
And everything. He was there when she came out. He actually even had a recording of us, but then he never developed the images, the video, and then the camera got stolen.
Men.
I was so mad. I
Oh,
was so mad. Like,
bless him.
how did you let this
Our
happen?
precious moment.
Very precious moment. So, my mom gave her water, and then after a while, she's like, "You have to
Water?
try." Yeah, it was water.
Do you know the... I'll get to that. Please carry on.
She's like, you have to give this baby breast milk.
Something,
And then I look at
yeah.
her. She was so beautiful, so beautiful. She had this cute birthmark. Like many of her friends now tease her, say she has ringworm on her face, on
Bless
her
her.
face. But it's just
She had a
very.
little-
It was so pink on her cheek here, and she still has it. You know, I was like, this girl is helpless. Let me just try. So it was a lot of cringe. It was so cringe. Like for every time she tried to suckle my
were
goose, I was
irritated.
so irritated
Yeah.
until after a while. And then I didn't have that much breast milk. So it was
It
so
happens to a lot of women.
it was so bad.
I
Like
struggled at some point with breast
I
milk.
struggled all through. I think the only times that I know that, if I'm going to breastfeed my child and she's going to be full is if I go the whole day without breastfeeding her, and then at the end of the night,
You
I
feed her.
feel, then I know
Yeah.
that, okay, yes, she has eaten. But all through all that expressing, nothing.
Do you
When
know,
I
I
express,
felt like a cow.
it's like 10 mil that comes out. Every time,
Honestly,
10
my
mil.
son could not latch on properly, so I did more of pumping and then feed him by bottle, but it was still milk. Bruv, it was so bad, and he ate a lot. That was the issue. And so I was producing, but not for his needs. Like I couldn't, I couldn't meet up with
At
his
2 weeks,
demand.
I started giving her formula.
Oh wow.
2 weeks, and it wasn't the regular SMA goal.
But they don't really care, because at the end of the day, the doctors don't really mind. They'll
Yeah.
tell you otherwise, but at the end of the day, so long as he's feeding, he or
Yes.
she's feeding.
They said no, that we can't give her SMA Gold. That we had to give. There was one with a blue cap that's for hungrier babies, because she was. I think at the time, before I started giving her formula, I would probably bring out my boobs maybe like 24, 25 times in a day. And then this get always hungry. But the first time we gave her formula, that was when she had like 4 or 5 hours sleep straight. That's how I knew, like, yeah, we gotta do this formula
Yeah.
thing. And then
Because
in
it's a lot
between,
thicker and it fills them up and she'll sleep.
yes.
Yeah.
So when she just clocked 6 months, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Really?
These guys weren't even producing anything that much anyway.
Okay, so you actually tried till 6 months?
Yeah, I still tried. I tried
Well, you
till 6
tried.
months. I tried till 6
I
months, but
stopped it. Never mind.
But yeah.
Oh, wow. Your
my
journey was
pregnancy
quite
pregnancy
different
was
from mine.
horrid.
No
Pregnancy was,
way.
I guess maybe I'm traumatized. Maybe that's one of the
Maybe
reasons
that's why you don't even
I
want to
don't
have
wanna-
another.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
I do want one.
I
but
think so. I think that's one of the reasons. It was horrid,
Awesome.
and that's when my backache started.
So
I noticed that after I had her, I couldn't sleep on my back any longer.
Oh, wow.
And up until maybe 2 years ago, before I realized that I had some disc issues, because I
Really?
didn't know.
wow.
And then
Yeah.
doctors were telling me like, oh, how do you know? And that, look, pregnancy and
You don't
childbirth
think
is a
it's
lot of
work and all
trauma.
of that?
No, work. There's lots of trauma that
Pregnancy,
happens,
yeah.
and in more sane societies, you should actually go through therapy to get your body back. But I had no clue. I didn't know.
Yeah, and we were
I didn't know anything.
at that age
Yeah,
as well,
I didn't know anything. I didn't even have the money to come and meet a specialist to
bless
tell
you.
me what was
You
going
had
on.
other issues in life that you're not even thinking.
Yo,
you're not even
yo.
concentrating on the pain.
So, yes.
Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this episode, although I would love for it to carry on because I enjoyed my conversation with Bisola. But yes, so Bisola, there's this thing that we do on the show prior to, cut. We do write personal quotes, mommy quotes, so something very personal to you that relates to motherhood, pregnancy, whatever your journey has been. Personal quote or a famous quote. So they're just going to provide us with papers and markers, and we're just going to write it, and then we're going to read it out to the camera. Then we're just going to check and go.
All right.
Thank y'all. So guys, we have scribbled something on a piece of paper, and I will introduce Bisola to read hers out and show it to the camera.
All right. Read first, right?
Please.
All right. Bisola, love yourself even though you're a mother, because only then can you give your daughter all the love she truly needs.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And you are doing just that, actually.
Thank you.
Really are.
Thank you. What's yours?
Being a mother is like driving in two lanes at the same time.
Very true.
100%.
With different people honking at you.
I swear, everywhere. Advising, non-advising, judging.
Very true.
But
Very true.
Awesome. Can we cheers?
Yes,
and
we
thank
can.
you so much for coming.